It's great to see you. My name is Quinn, for those of you who don't know me. I am a composer, but I also, I like to live and have these experiences, and through that, this almost becomes like a journal for me. So I take it a little more like an impressionist, and that's why I call this program today Impressions, because one of the main things people tell me is that when they listen to my music, it feels like some kind of impressionist painting. I'll take it. Once you make your own music, any kind of repetition when it comes to commentary, I take it. So with that in mind, I also travel a lot, and that is part of the music I do. I was just in Russia, I lived in France, Spain, Argentina, and those places too, they all kind of come to the work. Not so much to the point I can notice it because it becomes part of me, but to the point other people have said some things, and I'll let you know, because the nice thing about this intimate setting is I can let you know a little bit about each song, and I can kind of take you through that, and I'll let you know if a place specifically influenced the work. So, with that being said, I'm going to start with the first song. It's a prelude, and it's a nocturne as well. It's called the French Riviera, and from that little piece came a bunch of variations, but I picked a few to show you. And so the first two songs are from the same seed, but they're different, and that's a big part of my work, is finding kind of what matters and then expanding off of that. Now, just little things, and feel free to drink your water, get up and go to the bathroom. If the phone rings, if you cough, it is all kind of part of the process. I don't particularly mind. I want it to be a nice, fun environment. And if you have comments, questions, and all those kinds of things, I'm also open to it. It's rare someone asks me about the work as a question in the middle of the concert, but you know what? I don't mind. I'm open to it. So, with that being said, French Riviera, Prelude, Variation 1. Riviera. I remember some of this nighttime walking and seeing this beautiful kind of, this architecture has been around for so long and things, and it becomes part of you, and that's where that song came from. That night vibe. The next one is going to be called Volare, which is fly in Spanish, in Italian. In Spanish it also means to return. So that's kind of another theme that's going to come through, is a little bit of this, trying to get wings to grow as a person and having the work grow into who you are. Because all this work is part of who I am, It's partly improvised, it's partly broken down, but it's all part of who I am. So the next one is a little faster, actually part of the same theme if you can recognize it, but different, not recognizable to the untrained ear. So, here you go. Volare. That theme kind of came up again, but in a different way. So a lot of music's exploratory like that. Those are the only two I'll be playing for you today. 2 out of 9, believe it or not. We're actually working our way through this program. But those are the only two that are quite related. So the next one I'm going to play for you is completely out of left field, and it's a waltz. I myself am a big dancer. One of these days I'll get to recording this. It's a relatively new song, made in the last couple months. I'll get to recording this and dance to it, but it's a Viennese waltz, so the timing's a bit clear. It's a lot less impressionist, but all this is about exploring myself and exploring the repertoire, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So, next one is a Viennese waltz in F major. Stylistically compared to what you'll typically hear from me, which is much more romantic, but special nonetheless. This next song is going to be called Triumph of the Heart. This piece I would perform, because it's actually my first time performing here on Long Island, but I do perform out in Europe when I'm out there, and Russia as well, and this piece always seems to connect people, and for that I'm very grateful, because this kind of let me have a lot of opportunities to go reach out to different people and explore different spheres, because people would hear this song and say, oh, there's an American composer somewhere who's playing this kind of music, which everyone wants to hear, which is new age and kind of modern. So this one's going to be modern. It's called Triumph of the Heart, and it's about coming back to who you are after having some kind of experience that changed you, and hopefully finding yourself more. So here it is, Triumph of the Heart. I've been doing recently, and it touches me, so I hope it reaches you guys. This next work is going to be called, well, it's two pieces. One is the caterpillar, and one is the butterfly. Don't expect too much on the caterpillar, it's a caterpillar. But it's simplicity, and I think there's value in all of it. So they're somewhat related, and they used to be part of a big series called The Butterfly, but I've chosen two, and there was a third, but I picked two for you guys today, and simple song, and here you go. Simple, what the piano's made for. This next one is the growth of that, and it's Butterfly, and it's a little more movement, but it's, again, in the same theme, the butterfly. So if you guys can believe it, it's actually 2/3 of the way there. So I'll have 3 more pieces for you. They're all kind of under this impressionist feeling that I know well myself. The next one is going to be called Rolling Hills of Georgia. I spent a pretty significant amount of time in the state of Georgia recently, and it was one of the first times I traveled to the U.S., and to me it was a really beautiful experience to see the foundations of our country, and to be exposed to a new world within your own country. And there are some southern feelings to this, but it's under the same impressionist wave. And yes, go ahead. Rolling Hills of Georgia. There's going to be two more. Second to last one is called Waves of the Dominican. So it has that movement of water, and it's based on where I've been. So I was in the Dominican Republic for some time, doing a lot of the traditional dance there, and this song kind of came about. Not really Dominican root, but these waves, you have these big Atlantic waves that would come and hit these cliffs, and it would have this huge explosion. You never assume such a beautiful, tranquil island would have it, but it does. So this is kind of my song for the soft waves and the hard ones, but Waves of the Dominican. capture that wave sound. Reminds me a bit of a captain, you know, saying goodbye to those he loves at home, stuff like that. But it's all interpretive, so that's why I call it impressions. So, everybody, it's the last song. You've been a great audience. It's been great playing for you. And it's a pleasure. So, this last one is called Romance. Not so traditional, it's pushing the limits, but I'm happy with it. It's a relatively new song. So, hopefully there's no one here who's heard it. And enjoy. Romance. D minor.